know that hangs around with Nazis allegedly. Doja Cat, her album Planet Her. I only have the deluxe on Spotify, so I don't know the full thingy, but it's like 19 songs an hour long for the deluxe version. I'm not sure what is not on the normal version, but whatever.
They have both. The normal version's 14 songs, 44 minutes long, and ends at
Oh,
"Kiss Me More" featuring SZA.
oh, there. That's weird. This wasn't on my phone. Okay, well that's fine.
It,
Cool.
it's it. So when I first heard it on Friday, there was no deluxe version, and then when I went to go listen to it a second time, like late Saturday night, there was a deluxe version,
Okay, so 14 songs,
and
44
so
minutes long. So that
yeah,
makes sense.
no,
Okay, cool.
yeah,
Anyways, here's her. What is this? Her uh third LP or
second or third.
something? See, because I think her first one was in 2018. Both her previous works, Hot Pink and Amala, were pretty popular and everything, and got her onto the radar of so many different artists and everything. Hot Pink had some decent tracks in it and everything, but this is
Yeah,
definitely more of like a strict pop album and everything. And to me, it's interesting. It feels like a complete miss for her because there wasn't to me any songs that feel like they could really gain like any real traction. It just feels like I don't know, like a an Ariana Grande style record or anything where just it's nothing is pops out at all. It's just really flat. It's like you just have you have a Sprite that sit for 3 hours at the cookout. You grab it, you drink. You're like, oh god damn it, the Sprite's really flat, but there's nothing else, so I guess I gotta drink this for now.
yeah.
That's what this
I
album was like.
Once again, there's just a really good description of it where I've listened to this album. I have a couple of songs where like I understand this is pop and it's going to be shoved down everyone's throats, and there are some songs in here that are okay, but like on their own, they're not necessarily standouts. And this is only catching up Doja Cat to maybe like last year's like your Dua Lipa, your Lady
Yeah,
Gaga sort of like
yeah,
level of pop.
exactly. Because here's the thing too, because with Hot Pink, you had like that one. You have Say So and Like That with the Goose is Loose and a couple other tracks in there that that were pretty popular and everything, and that were decent tracks and everything for what they were. But within Planet Her, I felt like it was a step backwards for her, where all of these other pop artists that have come out, most of them women, are just fucking destroying it. They're releasing really good music out there, and it's such a saturated market. It's just nothing that great. Even the features and everything, they weren't fantastic. You had Payday with Young Thug, which is whatever. You had I Don't Do Drugs with Ariana Grande, which wasn't that great of a track. Even The Weekend with You Right, his part on there just felt just really overwashed and didn't feel that great or genuine compared to the stuff on his album that came out last year. So I was left a little disappointed in that. Even with SZA on the last track, "Will Kiss Me More," I didn't think it was okay, but it wasn't super standoutish. So that was another
With
interesting thing too. I don't know if it was the songwriters and stuff in there just were all really bland or something, and they needed a more coke or whatnot. I have no idea what the songwriters needed more of, but it just
with
felt really bland.
with you, right? I actually felt like Doja Cat and The Weeknd sort of had a good chemistry there song wise. I think
Well,
the
they
week,
definitely go together for sure. Like their voices and everything mixed, but it wasn't anything outstanding. It's outstanding.
yeah. Both artists could be outstanding. Definitely The Weeknd, Doja Cat, maybe not yet, but could be. And it's just not the best sounding like standout thing. I definitely don't know why that needed an extended mix on the quote unquote deluxe version of all
That's
songs.
hilarious.
Um, but like the Dua Lipa Lady Gaga comparison comes from like, okay, the really big pop artists now are really doing this sort of I don't know what I guess we call it best now, but it's sort of this mix of pop music that's trying to do like a flashback to or callback to disco and sort of early, very early 80s sort of electronic things and motifs in music, right? This just seems like a very hackneyed version of that. Like even from the first song, like Woman, you sort of like get the idea and it's like sort of a catchy sort of thing. And she sort of goes into this like I almost want to say Anderson Paak flow with it. And so I can see some lyrical talent there, right? That's she can do.
Yeah, yeah.
And like, yeah, I still would say above average, this is a better song than a lot of the men that are releasing music. especially right now. Not just saying that to like get some sort of like regular points. It's just that lyrically these bars are just a little bit more varied, just a bit, but a little bit more varied than a lot of what the men are producing. Is the fact. But the production and the bars altogether don't really add up to a project that really comes forward as much as yeah, even Hot Pink did. Because like Juicy was a really big hit, and there's nothing I don't really
Oh yeah,
see
that
on
track was
here.
played everywhere, and I, as annoying as it was, it's like I can like adhere to that's decent pop. It's going to be
Lyrics
played
were
everywhere and
clever.
everything. But and exactly, it's a very clever track. Even the one with Gucci Mane and a couple others in there, I thought were like, hey, that's decent work. But for this album, it's a step in the wrong direction for sure.
Yeah. Nothing ends this album perfectly, quite like the deluxe album ending with Why featuring Gunna. Because it's fundamentally just like most of the extended version. I'd say Tonight featuring Eva is like fine, but most of the extended version are just throwaway songs, and Why featuring Gunna is just like the absolute most like slinky in a toilet track like ever I've ever heard in my life. Just completely didn't need to exist. Um, yeah, overall, maybe one of these songs might like pop off and get played somewhere just because the way the music industry generally works with these things, but it's just not. It could have been better and it should have been better. Hopefully, Doja Cat comes out with like an kind of back to the drawing board drop or an EP soon.
Yeah, um, it's whatever. Some people like it, some people won't. So.
Yeah,
Anyways, our arbitrary scale, because we always like to write arbitrary scales because scales don't make sense, is dead tech CEOs. For me, this is a solid Fahim Salah or Saleh. He was the one who was completely dismembered in New York a few years ago. He was the guy who I think he did Joe Biden was like some type of venture capital firm, a founding partner of one of those things too.
that's wild.
Yeah.
Found dead in Manhattan's Lower East Side.
Oh yeah. That's right. It was in New York. He was like found in like bags and stuff. It was pretty brutal. Dude was
Yeah, he
young as
was.
fuck too. So
Oh,
I
because he was
don't.
like a founder of a Nigerian motorcycle ride-hailing company, and I'm gonna like tap the brakes before I say something there. About what happens when you fuck up in the Nigerian ride-hailing business. But uh, moving on.
Yeah, moving the hell on.